Christians have long been wary of the mainstream media, and for good reason. The motivations of the mainstream media are often at odds with the values and principles of Christianity, leading to distrust of the information presented by these outlets. One of the primary reasons for this distrust is the blatant bias that is often exhibited by the mainstream media. Many mainstream media outlets have a clear liberal or progressive slant, which can lead to a skewed presentation of the news. This bias can be seen in the way that certain stories are covered, while others are ignored or downplayed. For example, the mainstream media often gives extensive coverage to stories that promote a liberal or progressive agenda, such as climate change, LGBTQ+ rights, and social justice. However, stories that are important to Christians, such as the persecution of Christians in certain parts of the world, the importance of religious freedom, and the sanctity of life, are often given little to no coverage. This selective reporting creates a false narrative and gives the impression that the mainstream media is more interested in promoting a particular ideology than in reporting the facts. Another reason why Christians cannot trust the motivations of the mainstream media is the lack of respect shown to Christian beliefs and values. The mainstream media often portrays Christianity in a negative light, depicting Christians as intolerant, bigoted, and out of touch with reality. This caricature of Christianity is not only inaccurate, but also unfair. The mainstream media rarely gives a platform to Christian voices or perspectives, and when they do, it is often to ridicule or criticize them. Furthermore, the mainstream media has a history of distorting or misrepresenting Christian teachings and principles. For example, the media often portrays the Bible as a book of outdated and irrelevant rules, rather than a living and breathing guide for faith and practice. The media also often misrepresents Christian doctrine, such as the concept of sin and redemption, and portrays it as judgmental and exclusive. This misrepresentation creates a false narrative about Christianity and gives the impression that Christians are judgmental and intolerant. The mainstream media's motivations are also driven by a desire to shape public opinion and influence cultural norms. The media has a tremendous amount of power and influence, and it often uses this power to promote a particular agenda or ideology. This can be seen in the way that the media covers certain stories, such as the coverage of abortion or LGBTQ+ rights. The media often presents these issues in a way that is favorable to the liberal or progressive perspective, while ignoring or dampening opposing views. In addition, the mainstream media's dependence on advertising and ratings creates a conflict of interest. The media is driven by a desire to attract viewers and generate revenue, which can lead to sensationalism and a focus on provocative or divisive stories. This creates a culture of clickbait and outrage, where the media is more interested in generating controversy and attention than in reporting the facts. Finally, the mainstream media's lack of transparency and accountability is another reason why Christians cannot trust their motivations. The media often fails to disclose its sources, methods, and biases, which creates a lack of trust and credibility. The media also rarely corrects its mistakes or admits when it has been wrong, which further erodes trust. In conclusion, Christians have good reason to be wary of the mainstream media's motivations. The media's bias, lack of respect for Christian beliefs and values, distortion of Christian teachings, desire to shape public opinion, and conflict of interest all contribute to distrust of the information presented by these outlets. While the mainstream media can be a valuable source of information, Christians must approach it with a critical eye and be mindful of the potential biases and agendas that are at play. By seeking out alternative sources of information and being discerning about the information they consume, Christians can stay informed while avoiding the pitfalls of the mainstream media's motivations.